Hey everyone, and welcome to the first video in a series I'm going to be calling simply Foiled, where I present to you my foiled decks or assortment of foiled cards, whatever the theme of any particular video will be. I've noticed and realized that there's a large segment of the Magic community that enjoys collecting foiled cards, seeing foiled cards, discussing foiled cards. I'm one of those, or I think at least I am one of those. I've always enjoyed owning foiled cards and just kind of playing with them. I've always liked the feel. It's never really been something, for me at least, to show off to others. I just like them personally for myself. I also have a paranoia about owning fake cards. I definitely don't want to own any fake cards, and to date, luckily, it's been nearly impossible to properly counterfeit a foiled card. So there's an added benefit of knowing that the cards that I own are real, but for the most part, I just enjoy seeing them. I enjoy playing with them, and I enjoy collecting them. So I'm hoping that this video series will be interesting to at least some of you, and I'm really interested to hear your comments and suggestions in the comment section below. And today I want to start off this series with my favorite deck of all time, Temur Delver in Modern. In this particular case, this variant is Temur Hooting Delver, playing with Hooting Mandrills, Delver Secrets, Tarmogoyf. It's been updated. If you watch my videos, my gameplay videos on my channel, you know that I'm tweaking this deck and all my decks all the time. But this is the most recent iteration as of the recording of this video. And I want to start showing you all these cards, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. I'm not just going to show the cards and move on. I'm going to discuss the foiling process for each card as well. The foiling process changes from set to set, Magic era to Magic era, and I think some of that information might be valuable to anyone interested in potentially purchasing these foiled cards, or whether it's just interested in general. So sit back, relax. I'm going to be talking a bit, hopefully not too much, and showing you each of these cards. And yeah, so let's get started. I'm going to start with Delver of Secrets, the namesake of this deck. I think the foiling process on this card is actually pretty good. I'm going to give you a little close-up there. The blue is pretty strong, at least in contrast to some of the other blues that you're going to be seeing in this video. And let me just take it out of its sleeve here so you can see it even a little better. So the sleeves, this is double sleeved, and I'm using KMC hard, perfect fit, so you lose a bit of shine behind two layers of sleeving. But if you look at that, the foil actually looks pretty good. I really think the Innistrad foils look great, and Delver Secrets is no exception to that one. I think blue foils in general are one of the more nicer colors to see foiled, apart from purple. But purple it's harder to find. I know there are some collectors that just go crazy for purple foils, but just giving you a little thing here. They really look really cool. So that's Delver Secrets. Of course, no real issues with curving on Delver. Let me just take one Hooting Mandrills here for now. Here's the Hooting Mandrills, the second namesake of the deck. Not bad. Not bad for an Ultimate Masters foil. Hooting Mandrills. Great card. I like the foiling process on this as well. As you can see, it's not just parts of the card that are foiled, but the monkeys themselves are not completely foiled, only parts of them, so that's pretty cool. It gives you some contrast there. I think that's great. Also, no real curving, as you can see. It's pretty straight. I tend to keep my cards in a dry environment, which helps. A lot of the curving really occurs with humid conditions. So those are the Hooting Mandrills. I think they look pretty cool. Let's move on to Tarmogoyf. So I'm a bit torn on the foiling process for these box toppers. So there's Tarmogoyf. Let me take it out of its main sleeve here. So the foil on this one is actually not bad, as you can see. Look at that. That looks pretty good. But I have Noble Hierarch, for example, which won't be in this video, but the foil process, at least on Noble Hierarch, is just horrible. You can barely tell it's foil sometimes, and it's just, it's too bad. But the foiling on this Tarmogoyf is pretty good, I would have to say. You're definitely not going to be mistaking it for a non-foil or something else. Even behind 2 layers of sleeves that kind of hide a bit of the shine. This Tarmogoyf is pretty nice. I really like the foil on this one. Again, if you're curious, no real bending or curving on this. It's pretty straight. There's a slight curve, but nothing that's going to get you in trouble in tournament play or anything like that. I'll just show you the rest here. So those are all my Tarmogoyfs. I have to say, that's not my favorite art. I do like the art, but my favorite art is from the Modern Masters sets, the earlier ones. I do like the original. Obviously the Future Sight art is great. It's classic, but I would have to say the second iteration was my top pick, as you can tell from the playmat. Can't really see it right now, but that was the art that I enjoyed the most. Next up is Stormwing Entity, the newest edition. Let me show you just one of them. Stormwing Entity has actually been pretty exciting card in general. I have a video just on Stormwing Entity. I think it's going to be a new mainstay for Temur Delver in Modern. So this is the alternate art, the extended art version. It looks pretty cool. Again, nice foiling. The artwork is a bit dark. It's actually looking pretty good on video. The artwork is pretty dark. So in certain lighting, it's going to be a bit harder to see with the foiling process, but in general, though, I think it's pretty well done. Pretty well done. So there's a little rainbow effect there. It's not as obvious if you're looking at the card in person, but there's a nice rainbow effect that you can see. Yeah, I really think this is a nice version of the card. Not too expensive either. Storming Entity is looking great as a general threat. You'll be seeing more of this card in my gameplay videos. This version of Temur Hooting Delver, only uses 2 Stormwings. At least that's the number I've been happy with so far. But I have other versions that play a lot more. So that's it for creatures. Let's move on to non-creature spells. And the first one is my new favorite permission card that came out in recent years. Force of Negation. Let's take it out of its sleeve. Look at that foil. What a beauty. Really, the foiling on this is great. Beautiful. Like I said, blue is just a great color to foil. And the red, the fire in the back, is just such a nice contrast. It looks really, really good in person. It looks really, really good on video. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. Force of Negation. What an awesome card. I used to be a big Disrupting Shoal fan back in the day. Of course, I own my playset of foils there as well. But in today's Modern, Force of Negation really wins out. Here's the full playset. Looking good. Having a couple of these in your hand when you're playing, always a good feeling, even when you're tapped out, especially when you're tapped out. But they also just look good in your hand in general. Up next, my other favorite permission in Modern, Stubborn Now. Let me just show you the first one. Cons, again, I find Cons foils are pretty good. At least in the blues. but most of their foiling was consistent. Look at that. I love Stubborn Denial. Another nice card. There's a bit of purple in this as well. Not a very strong purple, but it looks good nonetheless. Having a bunch of these in your hand, or even one, with a 4 power plus creature on the battlefield under your control, you feel like a god. Seriously. Come on. Think about it. You can basically counter any non-creature spell for 1 mana. Hard counter. They look great. Up next, nothing special here. It's just good old mana leak. This is the core M11 set. Nothing special here about the foil. It's strong, it's good. The blue is not faded or anything. Yeah. Your typical mana leak. I'd really like to get a good foil mana leak. That's a bit more interesting than the art that we see here, but to this date I just haven't printed one. Moving on, Traverse. Now Traverse is going to be a bit deceptive on camera. On camera the foiling looks pretty good. In real life, I'm really disappointed with the foiling of Traverse, at least. The artwork is dark, and I find the foiling process just doesn't do it justice. It just hides. I mean, the foiling hides. Right? Maybe I should reword that. I think the art doesn't do justice to the foil. It looks good on camera, not so much in real life. Those are the 2 that I'm currently running. Up next, Sleight of Hand. This is from 7th edition. These are really cool. The foiling from this era, at least in the 7th edition, super strong. Look at that. What's cool about these is that the artwork itself is not foiled, right? So the artwork itself is not touched, but everything around it, so basically the coloring is foiled. And it's super strong. It looks really, really good. Yeah, they don't make them foil like this anymore, that's for sure. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I think these look great. I mean, the only downside, I guess, is that the artwork isn't foiled, but I still think it looks really, really neat. Really neat. And again, it's an old foil. It's been around. Can't really see it too well there, but it's pretty flat. No issues of curving. Also, no issues with clouding, at least in the versions that I own. There they are, running 2 in this deck. Up next, another disappointment. Serum Visions, this version. Not sure. I mean, again, it looks really awesome in this lighting. The camera, I think, is tricking you a bit as well, because I'm looking at it with my bare eyes and it's slightly less vibrant than what you see in the camera, at least in the video. The blue around the artwork, so all the blue here, all of this here, it's really faded, and just the card in general is faded, and I was really disappointed because I think the artwork looks awesome. It's the main reason I got this version. The artwork looks just great, but the foiling process, I just feel like they missed the boat on this one. And again, I know it looks good on camera. I mean, it does look good in person too. It really does, but it really is heavily dependent on the lighting. It really, really is. Some foils look great in most lighting. This one, you have to be really specific. I mean, the lights I'm under, they're pretty strong. They're 5K, so it's bright. But yeah, I was a little disappointed when I got the card. Just a little disappointed with the foiling process. Nevertheless, these are the ones I stuck with. I still think the art is awesome. But not necessarily the foiling. On to the next one, Thought Scour. Nothing too... Oops, let's clean that up. Nothing too crazy here. Just your usual Thought Scour. But again, this era of foiling, pretty good, pretty consistent. Sorry, pretty consistent. And I think it's pretty cool. Look at the eye, the way it just pops out. And the, I'm assuming, tears or blood lines coming down the face. Whatever it is, it looks pretty cool. It looks really good. I think it was well done. I think it was well done. Let's just take a look at both of them. Keep everything consistent here. Yeah, 2 Thought Scours. The card you love to hate. Up next, Tarfire from Lorwyn. Look at that Tarfire. Look at the art. Forget the foiling for a second. Look at the art. The art is just awesome. The foiling, though, it looks pretty good. We haven't... I think this is the first red card, red foil that I'm showing you in this video. But it looks pretty good. Foiling is really strong. Definitely not going to miss out. Now, in the camera, in the video, it looks very clear. In person, it's... I don't know how to explain it. It's a bit darker, I would say. It's not as vibrant as you see on the video, but it's pretty close. I mean, you're not going to be disappointed with it. Looks pretty good. This one has a bit of curving, as you can see. Yeah, and I think all my Tarfires are like that. Let's double check. Yeah, you can see there's a bit of curving on this. These are all coming from different owners, and I mean, yeah, they're all from different owners, so might have been an issue more of this block in terms of curving with the foils, but it's not that bad. It's definitely not egregious like from the vault. I mean, from the vault scale, it's not that bad. Just love Tarfire. Up next is my favorite lightning bolt. My favorite version of lightning bolt. I think these player rewards foils just look great. I actually have the artwork of this card on my wall, signed by the artist, a local artist here in Quebec. And yeah, just look at that foil. It looks really, really great. I think it's a great lightning bolt. I know there's these new ones that came out recently, but I'm not changing. I think this is just the OG, at least in my world, in my experience of Magic. This is the OG that I really enjoyed playing with, that I'll always play with. It just looks great. I love it. I love Lightning Bolt in general. I like Lightning Bolt decks. And if I'm playing Lightning Bolt, this is the version I want to be playing with. Let's take a look at all of them. There they are. All those lightning bolts. Yep. Great foiling. No curving. The next card is Flame Slash, our lone Flame Slash. Looks pretty good as well. I really like the foiling on this one. Really strong, consistent. And again, there's a nice contrast between the artwork, the foreground and the background. very well done in my opinion. Slight curve, nothing you can't fix relatively easily. But again, looking really good. I think that does it for my non-creature spells. So let's move on to the lands. Up next, we'll start with the basics. And honestly, the Judge foils with the artwork by Therese Nielsen, these are my favorite basics. It's just great. The artwork is awesome. The foiling process on these is also really, really good. They didn't cheap out on it. It's a great Judge foil. That's the forest. I'll show you the island. Here's the island. I got 2 of them in the deck. The blue on this is spectacular. It's so strong. I think it's one of the stronger blue foilings I've seen. At least in the cards that I've collected. It's just, look at that. Look at that. That's not exaggerated. I'm seeing this more or less verbatim in person. Really, really strong blue. It looks really, really good. I mean, the artwork is great too, obviously. Straight. No curving here. Really great foils. I really do like the Judge basic lands. Let's just get a full grip view. Yeah. Look really good in your hand and on the battlefield. The remaining cards are all the Zendikar expeditions. Start with Steam Vents. Look at that. The foiling here, I was always torn. Because the foiling looks really good. But sometimes I feel like if you just pay too close attention, it's almost as if they, I don't know, stuck a foil layer over the card. I felt this from, I mean, I've opened a few of these luckily in packs, and I always felt the same way. I'm like, I mean, at first I was a bit paranoid that I got fakes, but that just has, it's just the way these cards were foiled. The foiling is really strong, really strong and consistent. And it's just more or less foiling everywhere. I'm just trying to show you the different angles there. It's pretty much foiling all around. There's nothing selective about it necessarily. There's no major contrast between, let's say, the mountains and the sky here. But either way, I think it looks good. But I don't know, it took a bit of getting used to. It's pretty close to From the Vault type foiling in my opinion, but they haven't curved like the From the Vault foils. So just get a full grip there. Looking pretty good. Yeah, I like the Zendikar Expedition lands. I think overall the frame looks nice. I wouldn't say this is my favorite stomping grounds in terms of art, but I do have to stay consistent, obviously. And if I'm going to have one expedition, I'm going to have many. That's just how I am. I definitely don't want mixed expeditions and non-expeditions in my decks, so it is what it is. Let's take a look at the breeding pool. So I have 2 Steam Vents, 1 Stomping Ground, 1 breeding pool in this deck. So that's what you're seeing. The breeding pool looks pretty cool. I think of the 3, Steam Vents is my favorite, just in terms of art. As you can see there, though, it's looking pretty nice either way. Again, the foil is really strong, uniform, so sometimes the art gets drowned out, in my opinion. But I might just be nitpicking. So let's move on to the fetches, starting with Scalding Tarn. That Scalding Tarn is looking great. Again, not necessarily my favorite Scalding Tarn art, but I think overall it looks nice. No purples here, but a nice mix of red and blue. I think it comes together pretty well. No serious curving. there's a bit you can see there. Nothing crazy. Nothing that's going to make it stick out on your deck. At least not the ones I have. Let's get a full grip there so we can take a look. They look pretty cool. Up next, of course, Misty Rainforest. This one I love. I love the art. I just really, really love the art. I think it's done really, really well. Let me get you a good look there. And again, I mean, the foiling is consistent amongst all of these, but in this case, it just really complements the art really well. Yeah, it's really beautiful. Yeah, look at that. These things look amazing. I know they're also very expensive, but it's just having these so nice. The art is really, really always stuck out to me. The Misty Rainforest art for the Expedition lands. Also, still surprisingly hard to get right now with everyone buying these out. Luckily, I have my playset. I don't need any more. Look at those. They look great. Last but not least, Woodsy Foothills. Let's take a look at Woodsy Foothills. There it is. Art's okay. I mean, it's normal. I'm not gonna poo-poo the artist, especially since it's the same artist that did my favorite Lightning Bolt. A local artist. I think she does great work. This is just standard, in my opinion, compared to her other work. Foiling again, consistent. I think overall it comes together quite nicely, the green and the red. Woodsy Foothills. Let's get a full grip there and finish off this video. It's gone on longer than I thought. I hope you're enjoying it. If you've gone this far, I'm assuming you're all in. Yeah, there it is. So, this was Temur Hooting Delver, foiled. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Do you think this is a good idea? Do you want to see more? I have many, many more foils. All the decks that I play, that I feature on this channel, at least up to this point, I have in paper, foiled out. When things clear up with the pandemic and we eventually start going out again, I plan on actually going to tournaments, paper tournaments, not digital tournaments, with these decks, playing, coming back with tournament reports, giving you guys more content, feeding the website that's eventually going to be coming out as well. But, you know, I wanted to share with you what I have, my passion for these cards in foil at least, and yeah, and just discussing everything paper foil. So let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content and you want to see more, please hit the subscribe button. It lets me know that you enjoy it and that you're ready to consume more, and it also helps grow the community. Thanks and have a good one.